Um, it was really good. Trying to it's hurt hearing that's like a really historical spot for the beignets, and just learning different little techniques and stuff as far as like dipping it in the hot chocolate. I mean, that was some of the best. I don't know what's desserts or pastry eating I've had. So I was really impressed. I mean, you can't really put it into words when somebody is as versatile as he is. Obviously, when you have a guy who can do a little bit of everything and is really does it very very well, and then has the pieces around him to kind of maximize those abilities that he has. I mean, it's kind of really no limit you can really put on his talent or the level of the ceiling that he has. So it's really more so just being a whole unit and a whole team effort as far as the defense trying to stop him. Um, they're a little bit different. I would say Jalen's a little bit more of a strong, like hard to tackle type guy, where Lamar's a kind of does a bit more moves as far as just how elusive he is. But at the end of the day, their versatility is what makes them, I would say, comparable because they can do so much with their arm and their running ability, and just how they control the offense and things like that. Best group of backs we done seen this year. I mean, obviously, when you watched the game last year, you could just see what how strong 34 is and how strong 9 is. But they got 8 back there. They got the other freshman back there. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough task, man. Then they got one of probably the best offensive line we done seen this year. So I mean, we're just gonna take a whole team effort. As far as the front seven, just trying to stop that run game. Because obviously, if you can't stop the run, you're not gonna be able to have a chance to win. So it's gonna be tough. I mean, I'm getting tired of saying how tough it's gonna be because you trying to just look back and you just go, wow. They don't really have a weakness, but I feel like we have the talent and the work ethic to do so, and the players that bought into the system that we have here. So I feel like we'll be fine as long as we take care of business. It's Cleveland, but no, I'm playing. I mean, I feel like they deserve to be in. Obviously they lost that game to Auburn, so people feel like they this and their schedule wasn't as strong as people thought that, and people feel like they shouldn't have been in. But obviously, we feel like Alabama has consistently and always would be one of the best teams, and we feel like if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I was pretty excited when I saw them in there because I feel like um, we're gonna have an opportunity to obviously like for the past 3 years to beat one of the best teams in college football, which is what we want to be, and obviously they're a team who for the past 10 years and since I've been alive has been the best team in college football. So, I feel like, that's how it really should have been because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and they're definitely one of the best teams. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, just walking around, everything is in walking distance around here. So, just walking around and just seeing some of the stuff that's going on and some of the different things going on in the streets is just like, wow, like it's really unlimited opportunities of things you can get into down here. But at the end of the day, I feel like our people, we know what we came here to do. We have a mission and a task at hand that we came here to accomplish, and we all realize that no matter what or where we at, the fun is in the winning. So when you kind of just remember that, obviously, you know, trying to win a game shouldn't be miserable. You should always, whenever you're in a new area like this, in a beautiful town like New Orleans, you should try to enjoy the experience, and that's what we're gonna do. But we still remember what's important. I mean, it'll be huge, man. Obviously, that's we've been right there for the past 5 years as far as teams in this college football playoff, and the last 2 years we've given college football two of the best games in the history of the college football era, as far as just how competitive and the amount of superstars on the field, um, and just how good of a game it's been. So obviously we know the type of juice and hype that comes with this game. So I mean, it'll be huge to get a win against Alabama again, man, because obviously it's starting to become a bit of a rivalry, and it's 1-1 right now, and hopefully we can go up in the 2-1 against them. So it's gonna be huge, definitely. you can't put it into words. You know, he's a player's coach. Obviously, I mean, he's when you got somebody who loves you, cares about you, but not just as a friend, but as a human being, as a man in general. You know, you'll do whatever for him. You know, obviously, Dabo is a big kid at heart. You know, he got to put a slide in his in the new football facility. You know, when you go to his house, you'll really understand like just how big of a imagination and a dream that he has, and he dreams like us. So it's like he kind of thinks the way we think, but at the end of the day, he knows and kind of has an understanding of what it takes to get there and the discipline that it takes to get there. So when you have that, and you know that he's just not a pushover who's gonna let his players do whatever they want to do, but he's gonna put them in the right position and hold them accountable for whatever they do. Um, I mean, I feel like you can do nothing but respect him, and that's why I feel like we'll do whatever, run through a wall for him, beat somebody up for him, because I mean I love that dude, man. I know he cares about the person first, definitely.
How big of an impact when you were deciding where to go? How striking is he compared to say some of the other things you've heard?
I mean, it was he kind of threw me off a little bit because he was like, I mean, he wanted me, but he was like, he was like, yeah, Clem, man, we want you bad, but I mean, hey, you can go wherever you want to go. We're gonna be good without you. I was like, okay, like, do you want me or not? Like, he was like, hey, man, you need to hurry up and make a decision because we only gonna sign one more DN, and I'm just like, well, he putting the pressure on me, you know what I mean? So, but he just wanted to show me that, what they were doing here at Clemson, it was kind of a thing to where they were building something, and if I wanted to be a part of it, I had to get on board with it, and if not, then that's okay. But so we're gonna find somebody that wants to, and that's what I like. He showed me that he didn't really need me, but they wanted me. So I love that about him, man. It was just a thing to where he kind of has that aspect of nobody's gonna stop him or his dream for the culture that he has here at Clemson. That's what kind of one of the things that I like. Oh, it is. Um, yeah, we do kind of look back and think, how can we, with all the success that we've had this year, as far as getting to the quarterback, not just sacks, but putting pressure on him, getting passes batted, turning those into picks. And when you look at this game, as far as a guy like Jalen Hurts, it's a bit different because you can't be as freelance with your rushes as far as kind of doing your own thing as far as when you're trying to get to the quarterback or when the game is on the line, because as people saw last year, you know we was only rushing four, but we trying to do everything, just do any move and stuff like that, and he breaks it for a long touchdown run. So it's really gonna come back to discipline and really just winning, doing your 111 job, and just count on the defense to be there to make the plays, as far as the different pressures or whatever that we might bring to kind of help stop him. But I mean, I can't really put it into words, man. It's gonna be hard in general to stop that dude. Right, right. Um, I mean, I do look back at last year, and I kind of resemble and just look at how a lot of people say this was kind of my coming out party as far as the way I played in the Fiesta Bowl last year. But I mean, I don't really let that be the driving factor behind why I feel like I'm gonna play well this game. Obviously, it was a great experience, but I'm really just focused on the task at hand, and more so, I'm just focused on trying to accomplish the goal that we set for ourselves, which is obviously to win this game, but it's to win it in a way that we want to play well. Not just go out there and just squeak out a win. Obviously, but it's not about who we play. It's about how we play. First off, so I'm more so just focused on being the best I can be and playing my best game for this game. Definitely. Too much. I was with him last night. Yeah, having too much fun. I mean, we just walk around. I'm like, well, I don't even got to ask no questions. He's like, that's over there. Like, that's where you go batter bees. Like, that's the voodoo shop. I'm like, I ain't actually be my tour guy, but he's just so excited because he know a good bit about New Orleans. But even though Travis is a young guy, so he never like been around as far as like being around like the downtown area and things like that. So he always been like a little kid. when he was coming up, but now since he's kind of like a young man, he kind of gets to see more and gets to be able to tell people more about the city. So it was real fun being around him last night, especially when we went to the beignets place because he was just like, uh, I ain't never ate here before. I always wanted to eat here and stuff like that. So I mean, he's kind of like. Really enjoying the experience, but he knows about the city, but then he's like it's kind of a new experience for him too. So I'm love just watching him and just seeing how much fun he's having already. We walked down Bourbon Street yesterday, and I was just amazed by, you know, obviously you got, how packed it is and stuff like that. But like when you see people like on the tops of the building and stuff like that, and then they throwing the bees down there, so you just like, well, I don't know what this is like. You know what I mean? But the crazy part was just probably listen to the police yesterday talk about. The different types of hustlers gonna be out there, like as far as the panhandlers and things like that. And you just like, well, dang, I don't even know if I want to go down there no more. It sounds too scary. But obviously, when you around a big tourist city, it's gonna be things like that. As far as like your New Orleans or your New Yorks of the world. So, I mean, that's been kind of cool. You kind of just seeing like the different era, different atmosphere of people down there.
Facing Bama third straight year, how does that help you being familiar with them, but also does that kind of hurt you because they're so familiar with you?
What'd you say? Oh, facing Bama for a third year.
Third straight year that you know them well, but they also know you guys well.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the beauty and the struggle of it. Obviously you know a team well, but they know you very well. So, I mean, it just goes back to not really focusing on